Okay, for this topic, is not that straightforward. It's not that straightforward, and even you have listened to me right now and you have understood whatever I have said, you would easily forget whatever I have mentioned on today. Okay, so it requires a lot of revision, constant reading of the materials here to let you really fully understand how to do the questions for the topic. Okay, now let's see. In this topic, we call it as bank reconciliation, but in fact, there are two processes to this topic. First one, we call it the updating cash book, but in particular, the bank account. Okay, you update the cash book bank account. That's the first process we are going to do for almost every question of questions for this topic. And the second process that you are going to see is bank reconciliation. Bank reconciliation. So that's the second process. So yeah, that's what I want to mention. This topic, the title is known as bank reconciliation, but in fact, only the second part of the topic is known as bank reconciliation. Okay, so the first part is about the process of updating the cash book bank account. So later I'm going to show you how to do these two processes, and you must know what items you have to use to do the first process and what items you have to use to do the second process. So here it says this topic deals with the bank account that you have in your bank, the bank account that you have with the bank. Okay, so cash at bank, or you call it bank. Okay, first fact you have to know before you start to do this topic is the debit and credit column. Debit and credit column in both the cash book and bank statement. Not sure if you still remember from the part 4, we have learned that the debit and credit side are the other way around between cash book and bank statement. That means in the cash book, debit column means an increase. It means an increase. On the other way around, the credit side of cash book means a decrease. But for bank statement, it is the other way around. The credit column in the bank statement means an increase. Yeah, and then the debit column means a decrease. And the reasons I have taught you in part 4. And the main reason is because bank statement is prepared from bank's point of view. Bank statement is prepared from bank's point of view. So you put yourself into the shoes of bank, and you try to think through, okay, then you would know that why is the other way around. Okay, when we were doing the part 4, I think I have explained. Let me show you. Okay, if you want to refer, you can get to the part 4, page number 58, 59, 59. Okay, you have all the explanation here as to why the bank statement debit and credit column are treated the other way around. Okay, so these are the reasons. So if you see any question asking you why the debit and credit column are the other way around between cash book and bank statement, these are the answers. These are the full answers. Yeah, so that's the first fact you have to know. And following this, we see how we carry out the process of updating the cash book. Okay, this next page, you write updating cash book bank column. Okay, so cash book bank column means we are focusing on just the bank account in the cash book, because cash book contains two accounts, cash account and bank account. But here we are just looking at the bank account of the cash book. Okay, the bank account of the cash book. So how do we do the update, and why in the first place you have to do the update? So the why I'm going to explain to you using this diagram here. Okay, why do we have to do the updating, and how to do it? I show you using the box here. Okay, now let's first understand what is a bank statement. Okay, bank statement is a summary of transactions. Summary of transactions that have happened that have happened in a month in the bank account. Okay, in the bank account. That means if you have received the bank statement, the bank statement will show to you all the inflows and outflows that happen throughout the month in your bank account. That means you can see on which day money goes out, on which days money come in into your bank account. Okay, so that's what bank statement tells you. And it is sent by the bank. It is sent by the bank to the account holder at the end of each month. Okay, it is always sent monthly. Okay, at the end of each month. Okay, now after you have received the bank statement, you would notice some discrepancy. Discrepancy means some differences. Some differences between your cash book bank account and the bank statement. Okay, you would notice some differences between your cash book and your bank statement. Okay, in a typical question, you will be given a cash book bank account and also the bank statement to let you make the comparison. Later, I'll show you a typical question. So after you have received the bank statement, then you will try to compare it against your cash book bank account. They are supposed to be the same, right? Because cash book is something that you prepare yourself, which shows to you how much you have spent in the bank, how much money comes into your bank, right? The cash book we prepare ourselves. Okay, we prepare. And the bank statement is prepared by the bank, right? Bank prepares it. So rightfully, they are supposed to be the same, right? Which means if the cash book shows to you, you have $10,000 left, the bank statement should also show to us, we have $10,000 left. Don't you think so? Agree?
Yeah.
Yes, right? Okay. But due to some reasons, you will notice that there are some things that do not appear in the cash book. I left out the word bank. You add a word bank here. Bank column. Okay, so let me repeat. There are things that do not appear in the cash book bank account, but they appear in the bank statement. They appear in the bank statement. Okay, so let me repeat. You are seeing a list of items. You are seeing a list of items 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, in Roman numbers 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. These are the things that appear in the bank statement, but they do not appear in your cash book bank account right now. Okay, so what are the reasons? So we first look at the first item, bank charges. Bank charges means the bank charges you some expenses. That means the bank charge you money you have to pay to the bank. So what are the reasons there is bank charges? For example, when you use checks, don't you think that is convenient? For example, you want to pay somebody 1 million ringgit. You want to pay somebody 1 million ringgit. Do you think it is more convenient to write it in a check, or you prepare a few boxes of money that amount to 1 million ringgit? Check or cash is easier? Check, right? For sure it is check. It's more convenient, right? So in real life in Malaysia, whenever you write a check, you have to pay a total of 50 cents for every check. Okay, so whenever you get a checkbook from the bank, you have to pay. Okay, so that's bank charges. So this is one example. That means the bank provides you some conveniences. You pay some service charges to the bank. We call it the bank charges. Another example, you want to arrange, for example, direct debit. Okay, or you call it the standing order. Direct debit or standing order means you tell the bank to do something. You tell the bank maybe to every month transfer some money from your bank account to maybe insurance company. Insurance is an expense that you have to pay monthly. So maybe you are worried that you will forget to make payment. So what you do? You ask the bank to do on behalf of you. So you arrange a direct debit or standing order you tell the bank that, okay, please help me transfer maybe 500 ringgit every month from my bank account to the insurance company. Okay, you tell the bank to do so. After you have told them to do it, they will do it on behalf of us every month. So you would not forget to make payment for the insurance anymore. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So that's direct debit or standing order. So this is a convenience to us, right? Do we have to pay some bank charges? Yes. Okay, we have to pay some bank charges, but of course, would not be a lot of bank charges. How much it would be, it depends on what bank it is. Okay, so all these conveniences that the bank provide to us, they will charge us bank charges. Okay, and yeah, let me try to think of one more example. Okay, in Malaysia, if you want to make use of your online banking, to transfer money to people through online, or you want to use your debit card to buy things online, you have to pay a service charge to the bank as well. We call it the bank charges. In Malaysia, you have to pay 8 ringgit per month. You have to pay 8 ringgit per month to the bank. So you don't have to literally bring this 8 ringgit to the bank. Instead, the bank will straight away minus this 8 ringgit from your bank account. Okay, the bank will not tell you. The bank will straight away minus this 8 ringgit from your bank account. So throughout a year, they will do it once a year. Okay, every year you will notice that you have $8 less, you have 8 ringgit less. Okay, so online banking is a convenience that the bank provides to us. In return, we pay bank charges. Okay, so bank charges will appear in the bank statement, but you will not record it in your cashbook bank account in advance. Because you imagine, if the bank takes $8, if the bank takes $8 from everybody's bank account, do you think they care about informing you that they have taken $8 from your account? They have to call everybody, right? It will be time consuming, right? Not practical, right? So that's why the bank would just take $8 out of your bank account without telling you. But they will tell you when they have sent the bank statement to you. Okay, when you look at the bank statement, then you would realize, oh, in fact, this month the bank has charged me 8 ringgit for the online banking service. Okay, so that means when you receive the bank statement, then only you are aware you have been charged the $8. So which explains why you have not recorded it in the cashbook bank account. Okay, so do you think do you think that you are supposed to record this in your cashbook right now after you have received the bank statement?
Yeah.
Yes, of course, we must record. Okay, because our bank account has shown to us we have maybe 8 ringgit less. So we should also do the same to our cashbook bank account. We should bring this item into the cashbook bank account credit side. Okay, because money getting out of your bank account. So we are going to use the bank charges to update our cashbook bank account. We are going to put it on the credit side. Okay, later I show you the questions I demo to you. Okay, next one. Dishonored checks. Okay, dishonored checks means checks that have been rejected by the bank. Checks that have been rejected by the bank. So it depends on it in real life. It depends on what bank accounts you have. Okay, you have your accounts with what banks. Some banks are very good. Some banks they do a lousy job. For banks that are good, they will call you up to talk about the dishonored check, letting you be aware of the dishonored check that has been rejected. Some banks that are always busy, not picking up customers' phone, always do their jobs lousily, they will not call you up. They will not call you up. So when would you realize that there's a dishonored check? When you have received the bank statement. Okay, so generally we will assume that the banks would not call us. Okay, generally we would assume that the banks would not call us. We would only realize the existence of this dishonored check after you have received the bank statement. Okay, so let's say this is a check that you receive from your customer in the previous month, and now it has been rejected. What do you think? I will put this on the debit or credit side of my cash book.
Credit.
Yes, good, well done. Reason, earlier you received the check, you debit, right? Right now it has been rejected, you credit, you do it the other way around. Okay, so after you have, let me repeat, after you have received the bank statement, you notice that there's an item dishonored check, is about a check you received from customer. You should use it to update our cash book. You credit the cash book bank account. What about a check that you pay to the supplier? You will make an opposite entry as well. You will debit the cash book bank account. Okay, earlier you pay, now it has been rejected, so right now you debit. Earlier you credit. Okay, next one. Direct debit, standing order. Okay, after you have asked the bank to transfer money on behalf of you every month, generally you would forget about such arrangement, right? Okay, generally you would assume that we have forgotten about such arrangement. So when would you realize that you have made such arrangement? When you have received the bank statement. Okay, when you have received the bank statement, oh, now I can remember that a few months ago, I have arranged a direct debit or standing order. Okay, so after you notice that there's this item in the bank statement, you will also use this item to update your cash book bank account. So what do you think? I will debit or credit my cash book bank account?
Credit.
Yes, because this is about payment, always about payment, right? Right, direct debit or standing order. So when you update the cash book bank account, you will credit the cash book bank account. Now, next item. Money transfer from credit customers who do not inform us. This item is also known as credit transfer. This item is also known as credit transfer. Okay, generally what this means is that customers have transferred money to you into your bank account. Okay, customers have transferred money online into your bank account. But following that, the customers don't inform you. The customers don't inform you about the transfer. So when would you realize that there's been a transfer? When you have received the bank statement. Yeah, there are many kind of people in this world, right? Some people, once they have transferred money, they immediately inform you. Some people, they transfer money to you, they don't inform you at all, right? So for customers who don't inform you, you would only know that the transfer has been done after you have received the bank statement. So what do you think? We should include this in our cash book, right? After we have received the bank statement. What do you think? I will debit or credit the cash book bank account?
Debit.
Correct, because we received the money, right? Right. So we debit the bank account in our cash book. Okay. So last item is also something that appear in the cash book bank account. Sorry. The last item is an item that appears in the bank statement, but do not appear in the cash book as well. It is the errors made by the bank. When the bank, because banks are also operated by humans, right? And humans tend to make mistakes, right? So it's also possible for banks to make mistakes, even though maybe the chance is lower. Okay, the banks may still make mistakes, even though the chance is lower. So what do you think? Do you think I'm going to use this to put it into my cash book bank account? That means if the bank has made an error, I do the same thing in my cash book bank account. Do you think I have to do so?
No.
Answer is no. I give you one example. If the bank has accidentally transferred 1 million ringgit from your account to somebody without you knowing, you only know after you have received the bank statement. You only know about the mistake after you have received the bank statement. So should you recognize the mistake made by the bank by doing the same transfer in your cashbook bank account? That means in your cashbook bank account, you credit the bank with 1 million ringgit. Do you think logical? You will not use it to update, right? Because it's an error made by the bank. If you do the same thing in your cash book, that means you recognize that you have given somebody 1 million ringgit. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So conclusion is this. There are 5 things here, right? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. only the first four things you are going to use to update the cash book bank account. Okay, so you can see the box here, 3, 4, 5, 6. The last one, we are not going to use it to update our cash book bank account. Reason is, it is a mistake made by the bank. Not logical for you to repeat the same mistake in your cash book bank account, right? So for the last one, you just have to call them up, tell them that they make a mistake so that the bank will correct the mistake. Okay, so I'm going to show you how you update the cash book bank account. So let me repeat what you are seeing here. Just now, initially, I talked about the bank statement, okay? And there are things that appear in the bank statement, but do not appear in the cash book bank account. And these are some examples of items, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And except the last one, the bank error, the rest, you have to record it into your cash book bank account as an update. So I show you how to do. So update our cash book bank account with these items, except the last one, the bank error. How to do? Steps. The question will give you a cash book. Then you see what is the closing balance of the cash book bank account that's given in the question. You start with that figure. Start with that figure. After you have updating, you do balancing once again. You do balancing once again. And that figure is known as updated cash book balance. Updated means updated already, right? Okay, updated already. So after you have updated with these items, you balance it again. You call it the updated cash book balance. And this amount is the amount that finally appears in the SOFP. A very common question in the exam would also be, they ask you, what amount will appear in the SOFP for bank? And you must know that it is this updated cash book balance. It is this updated cash book balance. Okay, so now let me show you. Show you through a question. So you have learned the first half of the topic. First half of the topic is about updating the cash book bank account. Okay, after we have practiced this, then only I guide you on how to do bank reconciliation. Okay, the bank reconciliation statement. Now let's see a question. You look at page number 159. 159. Okay, you need to have foolscap paper because this is a question from a workbook. So there's no space given to us to complete it. So I'm going to pull out my paper as well. Okay, my paper is on the right. You are on the same page, 159?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Now we start to do this question as the example. Okay, this is the simplest kind of question for bank reconciliation. So you have been given ABC requirement. A is asking you to compare cash book and bank statement. Usually this line would not be given in the exam. Okay, because naturally we should know that we have to compare. So this would not appear in the exam. Usually the exam would just ask you to do the B and C. Okay, let's read the B and C. Update the cash book. Okay, that means the updating process that I have gone through with you just now. Now I'm showing you through the question. And next one, prepare bank reconciliation statement. I'll guide you on how to do it later. So now we focus on doing the B. We focus on doing the B. Okay, now see the question. It's saying that on 31st May 2018, the following bank statement was received by accounts department. And here is your business cash book bank account. Okay, cash book contains cash account and bank account, but we are not focusing on the cash account right now. Okay, we are just looking at the bank account right now. So they don't have a complete cash book for you here. Instead, they are just showing you the bank column. Okay, they only show you the bank column without the cash column because we are not focusing on the cash. Okay, like I mentioned, if there has been no differences, the balance are supposed to be the same. Okay, because bank statement is prepared by the bank. It shows you how much money you have in the bank. Cash book is prepared by ourselves, which also shows how much money we have in our bank. They are supposed to be the same. But right now, are they the same? No.
No.
5161, 6260. So there must be some things that appear in the bank statement but do not appear in the cash book. Or the other way around, some things appear in the cash book but do not appear in the bank statement. Let's see what are they. So what we are going to do now, we do comparison of the debit and credit column. When you are looking at the bank statement debit column, you should compare it against the cash book bank account credit column because they are always the other way around. That's the first fact you look at just now, right? Okay, debit and credit column are always the other way around. The other way around, which means when you are looking at the credit side of the bank statement, you compare it against the debit side of the cash book. Okay, now this is what I will do. So you follow me. We are going to ignore all those balances amount. Balances amount are not relevant. Balances amount are not relevant here. And we are going to cancel off numbers that appear on both sides. Okay, we are going to cancel off numbers that appear in both bank statement and the cash book. And now let's start. 475 appears on both of them, right? So cancel off. 220, do you have this in the cash book? No, right? Circle it. For numbers that only appear in one of them, you circle it because we are going to make use of them. 188 appear on both sides, right? So cancel off. 54, does 54 appear in the cash book?
No.
No, so circle it. Okay, 293. Yes, right? Okay, so cancel off. Okay, now in the cash book credit side, 833 is not in the bank statement, right? So also circle it. 1380 is also not in the bank statement, also circle it. Okay, now we do the same to the other side. Okay, 850 appear on both sides, right? Cancel.
Yeah.
Okay, here is 390. 390 doesn't appear in the cash book, right? So circle. Okay, here is a tricky thing you have to observe. When you see sundry credit, it means that this number is made out of a few numbers combined in together. This 1370 is made out of a few numbers combined into one. You try to total up 820 and 550. You use your calculator. You take 820 plus 550. See if you will get 1370.
Yeah.
Yes, right? Yeah. These two combined together is 1370. So once in a while, you have to observe something like this, and you can master this by practicing, really. Okay, no other ways. Okay, 1230. Does 1230 appear in the bank statement?
No.
No, so circle it. Okay, once again, balances, ignore them for now. Okay, balances, ignore them. You don't need them. Okay, now we have done this comparison. And what do you think? There are two groups of numbers we have right now. The first group is those in yellow. Those numbers in yellow, they appear in the bank statement, but do not appear in the cash book bank account, right? And numbers in dark blue, they are in the cash book bank account, but not in the bank statement, right? Agree?
Yeah.
Okay, so you have two groups of numbers here, the yellow numbers and the dark blue numbers. Which group of numbers do you think you are going to use to do the updating, to do the part B? The yellow or the dark blue one?
Which the yellow?
You're not sure? You just have to know what you want to achieve in the part B. Part B, you want to update the cash book. So just now I talked about what are the things you use to update here. we are going to look for items that appear in the bank statement but do not appear in the cash book bank account. Okay, you are right. So the ones in yellow, okay, the ones that appear in the bank statement but do not appear in the cash book bank account right now, we have to include them into the cash book bank account. So let's do it. We start with, you look at the cash book. Right now, what is the balance of the cash book?
The balance 5161.
All right, start with that figure. Okay, so now let's write the answer in our paper. B, then draw the lines, draw the cash book bank account. I write in short form, cash book. Okay, so start with that 5161, the latest balance in the cash book. Then here write balance BD. Okay, now what number do you want to use? Next, what do you think?
What?
We are doing the B.
390.
Good. You are going to put this in the debit side or credit side of the cash book. 390.
Debit.
Correct. Okay. This is credit transfer C. Thomas, right? Which means C. Thomas is our customer. Customer transfer money to us without informing us. We would only realize this transfer then when we receive the bank statement. So debit cash book bank account. You only have to write C. Thomas, don't write credit transfer. Okay, so once used, cross it off. Okay, then you tell me what number to use next.
Wait, let me write down.
I wait for you. Let me go charge my laptop.
Okay.
Okay.
The 220.
Correct. So what do you think what DD stand for? The short form DD?
Direct debit.
Correct. Okay. So it seems like it's about paying for telephones, right? Okay. So what do you think? 220, you will use this to update the cash book bank account. You put it on the debit or credit side.
Credit.
Correct. Because it's about payment, right? So 220, you write regional telecoms. Okay. Now, next number, after you have written, you tell me.
Sure, we don't have to write the date of it.
The date is easy to write in the exam. You try to observe throughout the question. You only have to use this date, 31st May 2018. Okay, if there's a date column, you just have to write 2018 May 31st. The same goes to here.
So all of them falls into the same
because
date.
you are doing updating on that day.
Okay.
You ignore the dates in photo transaction. Okay, that means you ignore 11, ignore 14. Okay, ignore those dates. Use the date that is given in the B.
Okay. Next is bank charges.
Bank charges. Okay, 54, right? On the debit or credit side?
Credit.
Correct. It's about payment. Okay, money getting out of the bank. Don't just write the word charges. The reason they have the word charges here is because it is prepared by the bank. So the bank definitely know charges means bank charges. So for us to record into our accounting, we have to write bank charges to complete it. Okay, bank charges 54. Okay. So do you think is there any more thing to be used to update the cash book bank account?
No.
No. Okay. Do you still need to include the ones in dark blue, 8331380 and 1230 in the cash book bank account?
I don't think so.
Because they have been included earlier, right? Just now we took 5161, right? Okay, so we have done the updating. To finish off the updating, you have to balance it. So draw the lines to form the total row. Okay, just do the normal balancing. Do the balance CD and BD.
Okay.
I found that the debit side is greater. 5551. Copy this total to the other side. 5551. 5277. Here, write balance CD. See if you can find the same figure.
Yeah. Got it.
Okay, so we are done with the cash book bank account. Okay, remember what do you call this amount as? 5277. What is this amount known as?
Updated cash book.
Correct, updated cash book balance. Okay, and this is the amount that will appear in the SOFP. This is the amount that will appear in the SOFP. Okay, now we leave the C aside first. We go learn how to do the bank reconciliation statement. Then only we go back to that question. Okay, now we put this aside. We look at the notes again. Page 153. Page 153. Second half of the page, page 153. Okay, at the top left, you write the name of the process, bank reconciliation. Okay, bank reconciliation. If they ask you why you do bank reconciliation, you write them these two lines. Okay, why do bank reconciliation? Okay, in fact, bank reconciliation is a very simple process. You are trying to get from a number to another number. So you have two examples here on the right. There are two ways to do the bank reconciliation statement. You can use the format 1 or the format 2. This is the format 1 or the format 2. So you see, for the first format, the one at the top right, you start with updated cash book balance, then you work towards bank statement balance. The other way around, you can start with bank statement balance, then you work towards updated cash book balance. So earlier, you know what is updated cash book balance, right? After you have updated the cash book, then you will get updated cash book balance.
Yeah.
And for our question just now, it is the 5277. Okay, now what about bank statement balance? What is meant by bank statement balance? Bank statement balance means you observe your bank statement. You observe your bank statement, the last balance at the end of the month. It is the 6260. Okay, 6260 is the bank statement balance, which tells you how much money you are left with in the bank based on the bank statement. Okay, this is known as bank statement balance. So later we are going to use it. Bank statement balance. Okay, get back to the notes. Okay, recall that when we were doing the updating cash book process, we use items that appear in the bank statement but do not appear in the cash book. Okay, here the other way around. We are going to use items that do not appear in the bank statement, but appear in the cash book already. Appear in cash book, bank account already. Okay, the other way around. And the two items are known as unpresented checks and uncredited checks. Let me first explain what they mean. Unpresented checks means checks that you pay to the supplier, but the transfer is not completed yet. Check paid to the supplier, but the transfer is not completed yet. For uncredited checks, it refers to checks that you receive from customers, but once again, transfer is not completed yet. Okay, and let me tell you the reasons why the transfer is not completed yet. Okay, you see, you try to think, I let you finish writing first. Once you are done writing, you let me know. If you cannot see any of the words here, let me know. Okay, it's slightly ugly.
Okay.
Okay, you have done writing?
Almost.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, good. So unpresented checks mean checks that are paid to the supplier, but the transfer is not completed yet. Let me give you an example. So one day, you want to pay to a supplier with a check, and the check is written $100. Okay, you want to pay $100 to a supplier using the check. After you have written the check, you drive your car to the supplier, you hand this check to the supplier. You hand this check to the supplier. And at the point of time you hand this check to the supplier, do you think the money is immediately gone from your account and the money appears in the supplier's bank account?
No.
Of course, no. Okay, the check is still there, right? The supplier has just gotten the check, is in the form of a paper. Of course, the money is not in the supplier's account yet, and the money is still in your personal bank account. Agree? Okay. So, what if the supplier is not free? The supplier is very busy. Okay, the supplier is very busy. After you have given this check to the supplier keep this check in his car, maybe. Okay, the supplier keep this check in the drawer. So during the time the check is still in this drawer, do you think the money is still in your bank account? Not yet transferred to the supplier?
Account.
Let me repeat. Let me repeat the question. After you have handed the check to the supplier is very busy. So the supplier just keep this check in his office in a drawer. So do you think after doing so, the amount of money, $100, has been transferred to them? Has been transferred to the supplier?
No.
No, of course no, because the supplier has just kept the check in his or her drawer. The supplier is very busy to go to the bank to put this check into the machine. Get what I mean? Okay, so this is one of the reasons the transfer is not completed yet. the supplier probably is too busy to go to the bank to put this check into the machine. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, so that's one reason. Another reason is you give this check to the supplier near the end of the month. You give this check to the supplier near the end of the month. Today is a good date to give an example. Today is the 31st of October, right? Sorry, 31st of August, 31st of August.
Yeah.
So today, I give you a check. And then you immediately drive to the bank to put this check into the machine. Okay. And the bank usually would take a few days to complete the transfer. That means even after you have put this check into the machine, the money would still be in my bank account. It's not immediately transferred to your bank account. The bank has to take a few days. We call it clearing the check. Okay, clearing the check. After the bank has cleared the check, then only the transfer is complete. So what? And then meanwhile, bank statement is sent at the end of each month, right? Bank statement is sent at the end of each month, right? So do you think the bank would have enough time to reflect the transfer in August bank statement?
No.
No. Therefore, even I have given you the check, even I have recorded in my cash book, it will not appear in August bank statement because it will be reflected in September bank statement the following months. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is unpresented check. You have paid check to the supplier, but the transfer is not completed yet. This is known as timing difference. Okay, is the factor of timing difference. The transfer is not completed yet due to timing difference. And the same goes to this uncredited check. Uncredited check refers to checks that you receive from the customer, and probably this time it is us who are busy. We are too busy to go to the bank. So we keep this check in our drawer. When you have keep this check in your drawer, would the transfer of money made between banks?
No.
No. Okay. So once again, transfer is not completed yet. Okay. Or you got the check near the end of the month, you put the check immediately into the bank, but the bank has to take some time to clear the check. Okay. Therefore, transfer not completed. So you are looking at two things here: unpresented checks and uncredited checks. These are things that appear in the cash book bank account already, but they have yet to appear in the bank statement. And we are going to use these two things to do what we call as the bank reconciliation statement. So you see how we do it. We are getting from a number to another number. Okay, we look at the format one, the one at the top right corner. So you are starting with updated cash book balance, and you want to arrive at bank statement balance. Do you think that these two things are already in our cash book bank account? These two things are already in our cash book bank account?
Yeah.
Yes, right. Just now I say so, right? Okay, they are already in our cash book bank account, and you are working towards bank statement balance. Does the bank statement have these two items already?
No.
No, of course no, because that's what I mentioned just now. Do not appear in the bank statement yet, right? So since you are working from updated cash book balance towards the bank statement balance, don't you agree that we have to remove these two groups of items? We have to remove them so that you can arrive at the bank statement balance. So to remove, you must know what number to plus, what number to minus. For unpresented check, these are the checks that you pay to the supplier, right? So when you have recorded in the cash book, you credit it, right? You credit the bank account. Now to remove it, you do the opposite entry. You plus. For uncredited checks, these are the checks that you got from the customer, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so when you got from the customer, you will debit your cash book bank account. Now you want to remove it, you do it the other way around, you minus. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So that's how you remember what to plus or what to minus. If you find it too confusing, then I would just hardly memorize what to plus and what to minus. It works as well. And then for bank error, do you think it exists in the bank statement?
Yeah.
Yes, right. Earlier we talked about it, right? Bank statement appears in the bank statement. Does the bank error appear in the cash book already?
No.
No. And earlier we talked about not using this to update the cash book as well, right? The errors made by the bank. Okay, but you are now working towards bank statement balance. And we said that bank statement contains the bank error. So don't you think that it's logical that we have to include the bank error? Otherwise, we cannot arrive. That means we must make the same mistake as the bank made. Otherwise, you cannot arrive at the bank statement balance. Do you agree?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I know it's complex, and that's why I said earlier we have to keep revising and constantly do questions for this topic. Otherwise, it's easy to forget. Okay, today you have learned, you have understood, but it can be easily forgotten the next day. Okay, so now we do that question. We complete that question by doing a bank reconciliation statement. We get back to the question. This question 159. We do the C together. Okay. Now we start with the heading, the bank reconciliation statement heading. So in the exam, it would be given to you the heading, but here we have to draw it ourselves. Bank reconciliation statement. Just copy and paste from the question. At 31st May 2018. Okay, what do you think? How frequently do we do this updating and bank reconciliation statement? How frequently do we do it?
End of the month.
Yeah, correct. We always do it once a month because you receive the bank statement once a month, right? Okay, so we do it every month. Okay, bank reconciliations process is something that you do once a month. Okay, once you have gotten the bank statement heading ready, then after you have written, then you tell me what amount you should start with. Okay.
Start with 6260.
6260. That's another way. But if you want to follow there are two ways to start the bank reconciliation statement according to the notes here. So if you want to follow what about following the way one? You should start with
the updated cash.
The amount is?
The amount 5277.
Yeah, correct. Okay, so let's start with that. Usually I would just stick to one of the two ways to do it, okay? Because remembering two ways may make things even more complex. So we start with the 5277. So write 5277 here. Then you write updated cash book balance. Okay, once you have written, let me know.
Yep.
Okay. So you are working towards what number? You are working towards what number?
The bank statement.
Yeah, correct. Bank statement balance, right?
The bank statement.
Now we have two groups of things to deal with: the unpresented checks and the uncredited checks. They are the things that appear in the cash book already, but do not appear in the bank statement due to timing differences. So what numbers do you think we have to deal with based on the question?
The question. There is unpresented check.
What are the numbers? Unpresented check.
833
and
1380.
okay, good. Then what is the 1230? What number is that 1230? What is that known as?
The uncredited check.
Yeah, correct. Okay, so in the first place, we must remember what that check is about. Okay, unpresented check is about the check from to the supplier, and uncredited check is the check from the customer. Okay, so now we have to remove them, right? Because we are working towards bank statement balance. So we have to remove all these things. We do opposite entries. So here is credit. So we now debit. Debit means we plus. We plus unpresented check. So you write plus unpresented checks. Okay, making it like a subheading. Then you write T Rajiv. Next line you write Metro PLC. Then you copy the number. Then you total up these two numbers and put it on the right. Okay, I wait for you. Then you tell me after you have added what number you get next.
Mm, 7490.
Yeah, correct. 7490. Okay, let's write that figure there. Okay, next will be uncredited check. We have to remove it by minusing.
Yeah.
And it is about the cash sales 1320. Sorry, 1230. Okay, then you after you have written, you do the deduction. Okay, then you tell me what you get. Okay, I wait for you.
Uh, 6260.
Yes, correct. Do you think we have got the right figure?
62, yeah.
Yeah. Why? Because the question has it right. That's the bank statement balance, right? Yeah. So always remember when you are doing bank reconciliation statement, it allows you to check the answer at the end. Okay. If you cannot get the bank statement balance, which means you have made some mistake. Okay. So after you have written the figure, don't forget to write the term for that figure. Bank statement balance. Okay, once you're done, let me know. Then I tell you what questions you can practice as homework.
Okay.
Okay, good. So that concludes our lesson on bank reconciliation. The first step is always to do the updating first. Okay, updating the cash book with things that appear in the bank statement but do not appear in the cash book yet. Okay, after doing the updating, then you will be asked to do bank reconciliation statement. We deal with things that appear in the cash book already, but do not appear in the bank statement. Okay, the other way around. But this question is easier because it doesn't have errors made by the bank. Okay, in certain questions, you will see that there are errors made up by the bank. for errors made by the bank, you have to deal with it in the bank reconciliation statement. Okay, so this is the most basic questions to start with, and let me tell you what questions you can try as homework. You look at page 160. Okay, you do question 15. Let me see which one. Question 15, B and C and D. Okay, yeah, just do B and C and D as homework.
Okay.
This question has an error made in the cash book. Okay, this is an error made by ourselves in the cash book. So when you are updating the cash book, you do the correction in your cash book. Okay, you have to see what error it is in the cash book. This is not bank statement error. Okay, this is cash book made by ourselves in the cash book. So you have to correct it in part B. Okay, because in the part B, you are updating the cash book bank account. Okay, you have to correct it in the part B. But in this question, once again, there's no bank error. Okay, there's no bank error in this question. So A, you don't have to do, and only have to do B, C, and D. Okay, B, C, and D. Okay, next week I will discuss this, B, C, and D, and then you try one more, which is in a different form. The question is in a different form. On the same page, 160, question 14. Question 14, A and B. Okay, so if you have any question, you let me know, okay, in the WhatsApp from time to time. Okay, you have any question about the topic?
No.
Right now, don't have lah. Okay, so I think that's it for today. I see you next week, Thursday, which is this coming Thursday. I see you this coming Thursday. You don't have any more school exam this Thursday? Oh, you have, yeah, you have exam this whole week, right? Still have, right?
Yeah.
Are you able to make it for tuition on Thursday, or you have to prepare for other subject?
Thursday, I think I can. Yeah.
Can make it.
Think.
Okay. Good. So then I see you 2 days later. Yeah, I see you on the 2nd of September. Okay, so have a nice day, everyone. Enjoy your weekend. Bye bye.
Bye, teacher.
Welcome.